All right, so this is the merge request reports widget working group session for the 24th of February 2022. And then Fernando has the first question. So take it away, Fernando.
Sure. So I'm sharing my screen here, and I am following up on this particular issue from last week. So I guess I'm inheriting this work from Yannick, and this has a, I guess, prototype NMAR that like a proof of concept. I think it works just fine, but we're in this in-between state where we have two options. We could try to push forward with this and go, we're missing, in terms of the designs, I think we're missing level 3 support, which essentially was being able to group the, I'm trying to find a good screenshot here, being able to group, let's go to the issue, being able to group the categories, right? Denied, uncategorized, allowed. And I think that's a level 3 support option. So the workaround was to roll this out just with level 2 support. But what I was saying is that even if this gets merged in, the way the feature flags are set up, this may not ever end up being released in this current version, because right now the feature flag is kind of like a bulk flag where like really whatever MMR widgets are being rolled out in the first batch, you know? So the other option is to add an additional feature, a separate feature flag, and roll this out separately. So my question to the working group is, do we want to wait till we're like the spec, sorry, that, you know, the support in the extensions is compliant with the spec completely, or do we want to roll out what we have now? Does that, like, I need to provide the feedback to the engineering managers, like, should we pursue this current version, or should we wait till we have level 3 support and then roll out with that and roll it out with the other extensions that seem to be going out at the same time, right? Because we only have one flag to control all this. So I
can maybe give some background. We have put everything behind one flag because in cases where users have multiple MR widgets enabled at the same time, it would otherwise create a really weird experience where like 2 of the MR widgets are still in the old style, one is in the new style. So that's the main reason why we have all of them behind one flag. If you now have a case where we would have an MR widget that doesn't yet fully comply with the designs, I would say as long as, no, I would actually make the decision based on how much extra work is it to add that in later, or should that work already, or would that work be like automatically be done when we have the main component correctly done?
Sure. And I think right now, it like the way we'd implement in code is I can't implement with the L3 component because it doesn't exist yet. So it wouldn't be like once it exists, we can use it. So what would probably happen is if we released the version like this, we add a new feature flag just to toggle this one on. We would then have to, when L3 is available, support is available, then we would have to go back and update that component. So if, and by the way, like what happened was we had a restructuring. So I think the goal initially was to roll this out last milestone. Now this is under compositional analysis. Now that I'm under, this is being pushed forward now by a different engineering manager, and they're like, well, we could wait. And the PM, Nicole, for composition analysis, who owns this area, is like, yeah, we could wait. So if that sounds like the better strategy, just for consistency's sake, then I could bring that feedback back and we'll just defer it. I just didn't want to derail the initial efforts as I inherited this work and there was a lot of progress made, but it seems like the decision is at that point, we should wait. But I will build on this. So what I'll do is I'll track the L3 support issue and coordinate with that engineer. I forget who's working on it, but as soon as that's available, then I'll jump back on this issue at L3 support and then, focus on merging it in at that point. Still behind the global flag. Okay, cool. Thanks, everyone.
I think that makes a ton of sense. Thank you. And yeah, I just want to make sure as soon as we have this L3 support, that it won't like delay the other pieces even further, because as soon as we have the core component really ready, it would be really amazing to have all the other widgets soon be ready and then switch the complete feature flag very, very quickly afterwards. I think we have now 6 of the widgets completely done, and we're only waiting on a few other ones. And so when the L3 support is ready, I think we're going to make one big switch pretty soon afterwards, even if 1 or 2 are not ready yet. So just so you know about that. Is that aligned with how everybody else thinks about it?
Sounds exciting to me.
Cool. Do we have any other questions?
I think there was one thing on the designs. Let me see if I can pull that up. There was actually no, never mind. Just I think I'm trying to think while everyone's still here. Was it like icons with tooltips? I think so. I don't know if someone here had commented on that. Like that's not a pattern, right? Because it has to be something that tooltips is supposed to be something that's actionable, right? I think that was the feedback I got.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. All right. No problem. Thanks. That was it for me.
Just quick question, as you seem to be one of the first ones working on this L3 level designs. Do you feel comfortable about the designs? Do they make sense to you, what you're seeing in the code? Is everything looking good there?
So I just got into this. So actually, Yannick did a lot of the preliminary work, and when we had the reorg, I inherited this work. So I'm still kind of getting up to speed on the spec and the designs and stuff. So as of now, it's making sense, but I haven't had enough time to deep dive because he did like 95% of the work already. So
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everything that I saw while working on this made sense. There were no open questions other than the technical limitations that we're currently aware of and already spoke of.
Wonderful. Awesome. Anything else anybody want to bring up or discuss?
MR reviews of these UI changes. Is this still done? Within the stage groups? So, for example, in manage compliance, the designer review that, or is the working group designer taking care of those MR reviews of the visual changes?
I can give my own impression on what I've seen so far, and that's most often it's the stage group designer being brought in, but oftentimes they reach back out to, for example, Jeremy or to other designers who were involved in that. And that's one big reason as well why we have this sample project where all of the MRs have, or where one MR has all of the widgets at the same time, so that we can also spot differences quicker afterwards. Is that how others have seen these efforts gone so far as well? Or have you all been, like, for example, Jeremy, have you been pinged on other MR reviews initially? Or are you more seeing things after they came in?
I got a lot of pings from Phil, so we just work through it as he's releasing items, but not necessarily design after the fact. So,
but it seems like more on the component level then, and not so much on the individual MR widgets per group, correct?
Yep, that is correct. There might have been a question or two here and there about what's in Figma and aligning to it, but those were things that ironed themselves out pretty quickly. So yeah, well, it's all been about the initial build and construction.
So to summarize, component level, Hugh and Phil, individual MR widgets, the group's engineers and the group's designer, and then maybe spotting pieces afterwards on the sample MR. But that could be by everybody. Cool.
Well, thanks for clarifying. And I'm asking this because I know that for testing now pipelining 5, we still have a couple of those that have been also on the L3. And it's been very quiet for a while. So I just wanted to hear if anything changed in terms of UX reviews over the last few weeks. All right. Thanks for answering. Anything else before we wrap up? No? Happy Family and Friends Day tomorrow. Enjoy your day off. Hopefully everyone is taking the day off here. And that's it. I'm going to upload this to YouTube. See you later.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.